Hello, everyone. This is John Stoutinger with JCX Fishing. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for coming and watching. We have a friend of mine, Justin Hausner. He's the president of the New York Kayak Bass Fishing Association. And he's going to talk to us a little bit tonight about kayak fishing and things like that. Maybe some tips about fishing a kayak instead of a 250 motor boat. So, hey, Justin, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing well, thank you.
Good. Thanks for having me on.
What's that?
Thanks for having me.
Hey, not a problem, man. So, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about your background and stuff, and to get things started so people know who they're talking to.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So I've been kayak fishing for a long time. Well, I've been fishing for a long time, I guess I should say. I got into kayak fishing about 10 years ago and, competed in a couple local tournaments, but didn't really find my fit, really. I was kind of a noob with kayak fishing and everything, and a lot of the tournament scene out there kind of deterred me a little bit, honestly. So we kind of started my own. We started our own with a couple other guys, and NYKBF came about kind of as a club for everybody, for all the different skill levels, from beginners all the way up to professional bass boaters that wanted to give real fishing a try. Kidding.
I know.
But we that started in 2017 was our first year. And we started out hosting events that literally brought in 5-6 people at an event, kind of just like a club, kind of a group get together. And, 2021, we're looking at over 100 members, throughout the state, and live events that host, 60 to 70 anglers, at a one-day live event. So, we've grown leaps and bounds, obviously, throughout the 4 years that we've been going. And I attribute that not to me really at all. It's all our community and, the group of people that we've kind of, built that are always, reaching out to new people, to getting them excited, to giving it a try. And, people finding out that, tournaments aren't that scary. It's just a different day it's a way to fish a new body of water, to meet new people, and have a glass of beer or something like that, or a burger at a restaurant afterwards that, might not have tried before. So it's kind of a cool little environment that we've created, and I'm just happy to be part of that. But, started kayaking, obviously, from a young age and stuff, but then I had a kayak shop in the Finger Lakes for many years. Unfortunately, just sold it. But got really into fishing there and guiding, and I still lead kayak fishing guides throughout the Finger Lakes to this day. Just got really into it there, grown in the kayak fishing community, to luckily become pro staff for a lot of national brands, Jackson Kayak being one of them. Jackson Kayaks, Douglas Fishing, which, Bending Branches Paddles, and the list goes on. I've been really blessed to be associated with a lot of cool brands that I support and that I was, very picky about. To make sure that I was backed and partnered with high quality stuff, and I worked my way up to that, so it's been pretty cool. So a really cool spot, really digging 2021 so far. Already got to fish a lot of new lakes with we opened a new chapter of NYKBF, which is WNYKBF.
Okay.
So it's a Western Series trail, so it's all Buffalo and south of Buffalo. We've gotten I got to fish Cuba Lake, which is down near St. Bonaventure area. Amazing little lake. I would have never went to if I didn't have this tournament trail. But it's one that I'll definitely be back to. It's gorgeous. So it's very small, but Man, it's beautiful. But and that's kind of what the I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but that's kind of what NYKBF was all about. Trying new lakes, getting out there with new people, meeting new people in the fishing community, and growing. I mean, we are partnered with the National Series KBF, or Kayak Bass Fishing. So all of our winners of our tournaments qualify for the national championships for KBF, which are pretty cool. And it's a pretty cool umbrella to be underneath, as well as a statewide trail for them.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
that's me in a nutshell. I could keep going, but just really enjoying. Obviously, living in the heart of the Finger Lakes is always the primo number one blessing next to my family. But there's just a ton of different types of fishing, different styles of fishing. No matter what you want to target. Obviously, with me, it's majority of it is bass fishing, but obviously love going for the muskie or the pike or walleye. If I'm really feeling crazy, and there's lakes that specialize in that, so it's pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Which you're
yeah.
too.
Yeah. And we have a question, which is going to lead me into another one. What is the lake criteria for a tournament for you guys?
Good question. So, so not much. I mean, so now we've gotten a little creative with our tournaments, and you can find our current trails at the link below there, nykbf.com. It has all of our schedules there. But we just look for we look for a larger size lake that can host and fit 60 plus anglers, kayak anglers. We look for maybe 2 or 3 at least launches throughout the course of the lake, so that people can spread out. Kayak fishing is a little bit different, obviously, than bass boat, motorboat fishing. Obviously, is because we can launch at those side road kayak launches. So it opens up a lot of different spots than your typical bass boat tournament, where you can only launch at the boat launches.
Right.
So that kind of opens it up a little bit for us. But just for an example, we did a tournament at Hemlock every year. It was just a great lake for us. It was a lot of fun. With the motor restrictions, it just makes it a really different atmosphere to be out there on your kayak, and it's so quiet. It's like a different world. We just got too big for that. So we couldn't host a 60 kayak tournament, on that lake, because it was just too congested, because there was only, 1 or 2 launches. So we opened it up to Hemlock and Canadice, and we call it Hem Dice, the Hem Dice tournament. So you can actually fish either one of those lakes, for that tournament. So it, kind of opens it up a little bit. But that's pretty much it. We, what we do is we look for those main criteria. We look for a good location to host our award ceremony at the end of the day, because that's what I think draws a lot of people too, is that camaraderie, that interaction that you get at the end of the day. We obviously don't bring our fish, so our awards are a lot cleaner, a lot easier, and a lot more streamlined, because everything we do is online. It's through an app called TourneyX, and people just submit their photos of their fish. They line them up on a designated measuring board, take a picture of the fish laying in a specific way. Every fish has to be laid the exact same way.
I'll get it for you in a minute.
And that photo gets uploaded with the length of the fish right to the live leaderboard, and people can watch in real time how the leaders change and lengths and bags, and it's pretty cool, especially when you get on, like our last tournament that we just had on Cayuga Lake. Was fire. It was just, people were catching fish like crazy, and the leaders were changing left and right, and it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to watch it going down.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to one of my friends also, Bailey. He's down fishing the Kayak Classic, which I think is pretty neat. And I hear there might be a ban against some fish in your federation. He's putting a whooping on you guys, man.
Yeah, no, Bailey's rocking it.
Yeah, he is.
He's doing very good. Yeah, we joke with him and everything like that. There's a couple guys, that obviously know that we have a tournament on Rondequoit Bay this Saturday, and a couple guys know he's down there, so they're giving him a hard time, saying, "Oh, this one's for anybody now that Bailey's not here." It's pretty funny, but
yeah,
the kid's a good angler. He's a good stick. There's no doubt about it. I'm really pumped for him, and yeah, he's just been cleaning house. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine, baby. Yeah, he's sitting. For those of you who know him, he's sitting in 22nd place after day one. So I saw a post right before I came on. So yeah, he's doing good. He's representing New York well.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yes.
Keep it up, Bailey, if you're watching.
Yeah. So how does that? A question about the tournament. Since you start and everything, do you guys all have to be at the same location at the end of the day, or I know it's a catch photo release. But
yeah. So our tournaments were pretty strict on you have to launch at a specific time. You can't launch earlier. With COVID, obviously, we've lessened those restrictions to allow for people to spread out on launches and to stay safe and everything like that. But yeah, there's a first cast and a last cast, and then there's the last submission. So we usually, especially with some of these, especially with some of these lakes that have no cell service, right? Like Canadice and Hemlock, continuing with that example. You can be out in the middle of the lake and you have no cell service, so you can't upload your fish. So you just take your photos, and then that's another reason why we kind of use a restaurant or some, kind of pub kind of like atmosphere, because they can let us usually leech onto their Wi-Fi, and then they can upload their fish and everything like that. But yeah, there's an end of the day check-in where they have to be back by a specific time. And then, or at least let us know that they're off the water, they're safe, kind of a thing. Cause yeah, it is all virtual. So,
right.
We used to do like a morning check-in where we would do, everybody would have to come in, show that they had a life jacket, give us a float plan, everything like that. With COVID, we've kind of streamlined that and made it all virtual. So they still have to kind of check in and stuff in the morning, but they go right to their launch. They can get right ready and everything like that to go. But knock on wood, we haven't had any riffraff, any issues and stuff. So it's people really do police themselves and really anybody else they see. But
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
We do have a question from Russell. I call him Russell James, even though that's not his middle name. It says, are there limits, or is it like MLF total weight?
Yeah, good question. I can't see those questions, so thanks for putting it up there.
Oh, yeah. I know we highlighted, but it doesn't, I know not everybody can see them.
But yeah, so there's different style tournaments, at different times of the year. So we can do MLF, but we don't do anything by weight. Since everything is catch, photo, and release, weight is too hard to police. Right. I know back in the day they tried to do weight, but people were like throwing ounce sinkers into the mouths just to weigh them down. It was, they were being, but
no, we don't want that.
It's just too hard to police. So everything is done by length. So you lay them on a measuring board. I should have grabbed one. I don't have one.
Like you said, that's provided, or
no, everybody you have to buy your own, but
it's a certain one that you have to buy.
Yeah. There's a certain,
like regulated, I should say. Yeah.
Style. And everybody has to lay the fish style. So all of our tournaments are best 5 fish. So what we do is we take your 5 longest fish, add them together, and that's your bag. So it's so pretty similar to what you guys do, but just with length, not weight. But
all right.
But nice. Yeah, so that's what always gets, because I've obviously been a kayak fisherman, and I've never done bass, a traditional bass boat tournament. So I get all these people, I like hold up my fish and like really excited, and I'll get all my comments on social media. What was the weight? What was the weight? And it was like,
And you're like, I don't know.
I don't care. It was 21 inches, but
So it goes
I don't
500
care.
pounds.
15 pounds. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking, but seriously, like, it's just it's all about the length for us. And sometimes you get these really skinny bass that are they have this weird tail that make them like 2 inches longer, and
TV?
pretty wild.
Yeah, and you do have a specific way the fish has to be, right?
Yeah. So the fish
Well, I
can run through that real quick, but so the fish there's the measuring board has kind of like a little board on the end of it that you can like wedge the nose up to.
Okay.
The fish has to be like facing up, facing up with his nose touching the board and laying flat on the board. It's pretty strict. We do a lot of DQing and a lot of deductions and stuff like that for people because the mouth can't be open. They can't be under the fin, the dorsal fin. They can't be messing with any of the tail. Like, it's very, very strict on how much stuff you can and can't do while taking the picture. And that's usually a lot of people's hardest thing about getting into it, which makes our like online month-long tournaments like that much more attractive to people, especially beginners, because they can learn at their own pace. They can take their time. They can, if the third of the month they roll around, they get 5 fish and they're all open mouth, then they have the rest of the month to kind of learn from that, because they have every one of those fish has a inch deduction on it because their mouth's open. So people, it's good to learn instead of just diving right into a live tournament where it's make or break. There's no making up for it.
Yeah, we got a couple questions here.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd it go? Sorry, I scrolled too far.
Are you okay? Go ahead.
It says Justin Dahl asks, are you guys gonna do anything in the Buffalo area?
Yeah, so Justin, good thing you asked. We just started a NYKBF tournament series, which stands for Western New York Kayak Fishing, or Western New York Kayak Bass Fishing, and it's our first season. Everything is ran just like a traditional NYKBF tournament series, but all in the Buffalo area. The 26th of June, we're going to be going out of the Buffalo Harbor at Lake Erie, so that'll be a huge event. Hopefully you can make it out if you're into it. But there's a lot of tournaments still to come in the season in that area. So
very nice.
Yeah.
And so how do they register to be in that? Is there like a special link or anything?
Yeah, so super easy. So first thing, NYKBF and WNYKBF are a completely open series. You do not have to be a member of anything. There's no fees in signing up, to be eligible to sign up for a tournament. Anybody can do it as long as you have a kayak, a life jacket, I guess a license, and
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, but we don't check for those. So I guess if you don't have one, you're out there on your good luck.
Hey, don't feel alone, man. No other circuit does either.
Yeah, I know. I hear. Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, super easy. All you got to do is go to nykbf.com, and there's links there. But tourneyx.com. So it's tourney like tournament, but with a Y, and then the letter X. If you just go there, you can create a free account. Everything we do is through tourneyx.com. And they have an app that goes on your phone, makes it really easy. And through that app, you actually sign up for the tournaments. You can sign up for any tournament there, and and that's it. Literally, all your fish are submitted through TourneyX. The awards are done through TourneyX. Everything. So it's a really cool platform for kayak fishing.
Okay.
Very good.
Nice.
And then he also asked, because we were talking about the boards and stuff earlier.
Catchboards are the best.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
what he
see it. Okay. He has
Catchboards are
a
the best boards.
Catch
So,
X. Okay. Look at that, Justin. You just got to sign up and you'll be good to go.
Now,
Look at
I have a
that.
question. There are a couple different boards. Okay.
Oh, let me just hide that.
So,
Yep.
how do you know if your board is okay?
Yeah, is that on the website?
Yeah, so that
Okay.
it's actually on the website, and it's on the details for all of our tournaments as well.
Oh.
So we are very strict with the boards that we allow. The catch board is literally the best board. They're metal. They also make a plastic board, which is really great too. It's like a thicker plastic than a couple other models out there. But they don't bend as easy, and they're kind of like matte finished. So the plastic ones don't have, the metal ones kind of tend to shine and glare a little bit, which if you're in the middle of Lake Erie, right, in a beautiful sunny day, and you got the sun beating down on you on a metal board, the tournament director has to go with the clearest number that he can see. So like if underneath the fin, because it's a little bit of shade, he can see the number 18, but then like there's maybe 2 or 3 inches past that so it's a 20-inch fish, he has to give it an 18 because he has no idea that's the clearest marking, which is kind of yucky. We don't like doing that, so we always tell people, take a million pictures of that fish, get different angles, play with the phone to get the shade the right way. It's definitely hard, but more on that in a second. But like the hog trough is another line. It's kind of the more entry level, like $20 board. That is the other board that we allow. So there's a lot of boards that you'll find like at they're kind of like ice fishing, like just like the metal boards that are flat and about the size of a ruler. We don't allow those offer for too much discrepancy on the way the fish sits and everything, and so we just kind of make it nice and easy. You have 2 options: the hog trough or the catch board. Pick one and go. So
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
And another question from a different Justin. This is Justin Salisbury.
Justin night, I love it.
I know, I was about to say that, like a bunch of Justins joining you. So he says, any restrictions on models of kayaks? I know some have trolling motors and etc. That's a good question. Yeah.
So NYKBF does not. So there is a restriction on the size of trolling motor that you can put on there. I think it's like a 3-horse or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
So you can't have 120-pound thrust.
Electric has to be electric. But no, yeah, obviously, as long as it's a single person kayak, it's game. You can fish off a stand-up paddleboard. You can fish off a canoe, as long as it's manned or as long as it's paddled by a single person. It's legal in NYKBF.
See, that's why I don't do it, man. I'm not single.
You need somebody actually pointing, say, "There's the fish right there."
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you know Greg Kronk?
I don't know that guy. Skip this question.
All right, we'll skip it.
No, it's fine. I'm just joking. So
yeah,
Greg's
I know.
Greg's one of our good competitors. He's a very good supporter of NYKBF. And we have a joke that I had a bet last year with another member that I could outfish them throughout the course of the year, and I lost the bet. And the bet was the loser had to fish a tournament in a dress, which I did on Cayuga, which as Greg happily pointed out, I lived up to my I lived up to my word, and I borrowed one of my wife's maternity dresses that were way too big for her at the time when she was pregnant, so made me feel great about my body. But hey, I enjoyed it. It was breezy. It was beautiful.
I was just going to say that. I was like, I bet she had the best time. Be like, I am gearing out now.
I had a wicked sunburn though in places that my body's never seen sun. But we don't need to get into that. This is family show. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I lived up to it. There's photos on our Facebook page and stuff, and but it's just a fun. I made the distinction that I would fish in it, but I wouldn't do the awards in the dress. So I changed before the awards and stuff. But,
well,
hey, at least it wasn't a mini skirt.
No.
No, the club that I
tasteful,
started with Barge Canal
tasteful.
Bassmaster. What's that?
It was tasteful.
Yeah. Barge Canal Bassmasters back in the day, they used to do a
because you're holding
male-female tournament.
Ends. Don't hold the ends.
And a couple of guys would dress up as girls because they couldn't get a girl to fish with them,
That's funny.
So I mean, it's all it's all a fun thing, and
and it's all fun. It's lighthearted and all in good fun. We obviously my wife fishes a lot, with us, and a lot of other spouses, and we have a lot of female anglers that kick butt, in our tournament series. So we definitely are a good group of people.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
We just like to have fun.
Bring
We
it to me,
like to,
please.
support our community through charitable causes and, year round. We just, it's just a good group of people.
yeah. I'm glad you mentioned charitable causes because you have a friend, Tiffany Fulkin. I have her as well. She's a friend of mine. And if you want to go in and talk about how that all started with the Tristan Foundation tournament.
Sure. Yeah. So Tristan Folk was an employee of mine for 4 years or so at when I had my kayak shop and campground. And so got to know him very well and his family very well. And, unfortunately, Tristan took his life after his first semester of college, and hit me very hard. And so I couldn't imagine what that family went through.
Excuse me.
No, it's fine. And bless you.
Thanks.
But this amazing family ended up taking this horrible lemon, and made this beautiful pot of lemonade out of it with the Tristan Foundation, where they actually go. The whole family actually is involved in it and goes throughout the Finger Lakes, and preaches awareness for suicide prevention and support and help the people that might not show symptoms of depression or signs of that they're depressed or that they are thinking of that. So obviously we wanted to help out any way we could. So 3 years ago we started doing the NYKBF charity tournament, which was kind of like our icebreaker event. So it was always in April, towards the end of April, early May, which, May is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, or Mental Health Awareness Month. Sorry. Mental Health Awareness Month. And so, it was always good to kind of leap on that a little bit. And this event has really grown. And I think it's one of our main causes of how the community has grown and just attracted such beautiful people, because, everything that we bring in for the tournament, all of the prizes that we get are completely donated. We don't spend a dime on prizes, anything like that. And all the money that is brought in for registration fees and everything is donated completely to the Tristan Foundation in the name of Tristan Folk, and does some really good for the community around here, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We also do a kayak raffle every year too. So we'll, at the end of the year, at the end of September, we'll be raffling off a brand new Jackson kayak that we got. It's their brand new model, so it's not even in stores yet. So we'll be raffling that off in September. So raffle tickets can be purchased at nykbf.com. You can buy them up until September, and you don't have to be president to win. The last year's person that won, he was actually down by New York City, and and I drove the kayak down to him, and and everything. But it's just a great event. Last year we ended up actually not having the event last year in 2020,
Right.
due to COVID. We had a lot of our tournaments. We actually grew a lot in 2020. But we thought, since we couldn't be together and in person, the charity tournament just wouldn't be the same. And so we wanted 20. We did the raffle, and we still raised about $1,500 for the charity, just for the raffle alone. But this year, the tournament got moved to Honeoye Lake with our good friends from Doc's Tackle, David and Doc's. And they went all out for us. Douglas went all out for us. Jackson went all out for us. All of our sponsors really showed up, big this year. And we raised over $3,000 just in the tournament. So the raffle is still unaccounted for in that number. So that those numbers are still growing daily. On what we're raising, but for just the tournament alone, we raised over $3,000 for the charity, which is for kayak fishing, which in New York is awesome.
Yeah.
After we're done.
And what hits me so hard is obviously, I was a resident director, back in college. I was, a peer advisor in college. I've kind of been with Tristan and everything like that. And my wife being a mental health counselor, we've always talked about problems. We're always upfront about things like that. And suicide is never something that's easy to talk about. I don't care how much you talk about it. I've had, family members that have died to it, and it just, a lot of everybody, if you reflect back and you talk to somebody long enough, everybody, it has an effect. Is affected by it. And that's one of the big things. I obviously get up at the end of the event, and I'll talk about Tristan, and I'll talk about his family, and hope, sometimes they're there. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it this year, but usually they're there, and they'll talk about Tristan, and we'll have, just tons of people that'll come up to me and, will talk to me and give us extra money to go to the charity of, and talk about, their family member that, passed away too soon, and, just how this affected them, and how, it's a very somber kind of event, but it's also a fun event because you're coming together as a community, and you're really supporting, other people that you never knew before, which, which is pretty cool. And you never think like, oh, a bunch of little kayak anglers and or kayak, they're just out there having fun, but I like to think that we're helping people too while we're doing it. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Excellent.
And you're keeping their spirits alive too by doing things like that. And like you said, it's hard to talk about, but that's how we keep those people close to heart. Yeah.
We did something pretty cool this year. It was our first year doing it, but I think we're going to keep doing it. So every fish, when you submit a fish for a tournament, we need like an identifier code that has to go in the photo, just to kind of prove that it was, on the right lake, on the, at the right time of the day, that you're registered, blah, 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 all of that, kind of hoopla thing. And this year we made it Tristan's initials was the identifier code. So every fish that was submitted had, Tristan in the photo, and it was just something little to, to make sure that, everybody throughout that whole day, no matter, what fish they caught, they were thinking about, really why they were on the water that day. And, that was something that was a little note that was kind of special. And
absolutely.
Awesome. And we have another question. We'll get back to the regular kayak tournaments, okay?
Yeah.
What are the prizes?
Yeah.
So, high heels, lipstick, earrings.
Yep, definitely. So we are a 98% payout organization. So we pay a small fee for every angler that submits that enters a tournament to Tourney X to allow to use their platform, and another very small fee that we have to pay to PayPal because we use their software to exchange money. Everything else after those 2 fees goes directly back to the anglers. So 50% goes to first place normally, 35, and then 15 to second and third. And then we pay out, we have prizes as well for 1 through 5. So we have Dakota lithium batteries actually gives a lithium battery to first place everyone. So it's a beautiful a beautiful prize pack, and everywhere from X-Zone lures to Freedom Tackle. Savior Outdoors has some rod retrieval devices that we give out. Coyote Eyewear, which is actually located in Rochester, makes amazing polarized sunglasses. They actually have a line called Bobs, which are floating. So they're a heavy support. Yeah, it's huge. It's just on a kayak. It's a no-brainer. Rogue Fish. I mean, we have so many amazing partners, and they all donate prizes for our events. So there's some amazing prize packages. I know. Speaking, reflecting on this week's tournament on Irondequoit Bay. The last time we were on Irondequoit, I was actually fishing at the time. I was fishing in what was called a Blue Sky kayak, or Blue Sky Boatworks. It's actually called, but it's a huge boat. It's like a pontoon boat. Very wide, very stable, a really nice craft. And I was fishing kind of in the middle of Irondequoit Bay, and there's a porthole kind of like right in the middle of the kayak for the drive unit, because it's a pedal kayak. And I was fishing, and I caught a fish, and I'm taking pictures of it, and I dropped my phone right through that porthole, right in the middle, and it goes right down in the water. Obviously lost my phone. My fishing, my day was done. Luckily now, one of our main sponsors is Rogue Fishing, which specializes in, protection for said phones, paddles, everything that can fall off the water or fall off your boat. They keep it safe with a tether and a strap.
Okay. Oh, cheapers.
Ridiculous that, after as many years as I've been kayak fishing, I didn't have that capability already to keep my phone safe. But I'm sitting here thinking I'm in this floating pontoon boat, what's going to happen, and Murphy's Law. What happens?
Right.
Yeah.
Every time, Murphy's Law. Just get you.
So, yeah. But yeah, so hopefully I answered it. So what are the prizes for our tournaments? A lot.
Yeah, that's great.
We give away a lot of gear, and good prize money too. I mean, the winners usually take home between $600 to $900 for the winner, plus all the swag and all the gear that comes with it. So not bad for a $40 entry fee.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
I was gonna say I could donate some cookies, but that's just meh.
We'll take them.
All right.
you want to ask now?
I might as well ask. What is your favorite cookie? That's like the only question I usually ask. So.
That's a good question. Cookies are hard. I've never met a cookie I didn't like. But I'm a big oatmeal raisin guy. I love oatmeal raisins. The gooey kind. I don't know. No, the gooey or the crispy. I'll go either way.
Oh, okay. Extra cinnamon in it or no?
Yeah, no. You can't make a bad one. I think, but yeah, just oatmeal raisin is top. A good snickerdoodle.
Oh yeah.
You could tell. I've never met a cookie that I.
Some good living right there. That's all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though. There's there's a place in Penn Yan, called the Flower Petal Cafe. Have you ever been there?
Is that the one where you're just going into Penn Yan down the hill?
Yeah. You're just going.
Have we been there? Because I've seen it, and then I thought we did go there.
It's just this little place.
Looks like a shed.
Every once in a while, they have a cookie that's it's a white chocolate raspberry cookie, and it is literally like melts in your mouth. It's just amazing. So every time I go there, if I see one of those, I usually get
You're
whatever.
like, I'm done.
Oh my God, I'll take
Oh, I love white chocolate and raspberry together. Oh,
it's very good. It's very
I
good.
bet. Flower Petal Cafe.
I bet you I can
That's
make you a
funny.
cookie you won't like.
I don't know. I challenge accepted.
You
Challenge
probably
accepted.
burn it.
No, she's the baker. I'm no.
Yeah.
If it's above the stove, I'm all right. Once it goes in the oven, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's an art. It's an art form that once you start talking about baking, it's over. It's an art.
Yeah.
Well, see, because the profits for my stuff goes to our church that we go to, so mine's all volunteer stuff too.
That's
so
awesome.
But yeah, I can definitely donate some cookies.
That's
Or
awesome.
like
We would love it. We would
or
love
like
it.
a gift certificate for whatever. I've done that with pies and stuff
Oh,
too.
that'd be great.
So,
That'd be
yeah.
So
Sure
yeah,
thing.
so we do. It might be something to consider maybe for our charity tournament in 2022.
Yeah.
But so we keep things kind of going all summer long, where we partner with the Bass Pro in Auburn. We do their Toys for
very
Tots
cool.
drive. So we work closely with their Toys for Tots drive as well during that season, and so we kind of try to stay relevant all year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't ice fish. I hibernate.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, no way. So your friend Greg says that his favorite are no, it just flipped up. It's his favorite cookie is the Oreos s'mores cookies. I haven't had those yet.
So fun story real quick about that is this guy. This is just the NYKBF community. So last year, or no, probably 2 years ago, 2019, I was doing like a.
Want to say hi?
Like hi. How you doing? So I was doing like a fit challenge, where I cut out sugar, I cut out carbs, I cut out dairy, and I would work out like every day, kind of a thing. And I posted something of like, oh, of course, I just started this challenge, and then these things come out. And I posted a picture of like the Oreo s'mores.
Oh yeah.
And like a day later, 2 days later, maybe I got a package of Oreo s'mores like in the mail, like sent from Amazon, unaddressed, no thing. And I'm like,
Is she ready?
it was Greg, obviously. He like saw my post and was like, oh, I'm gonna send him some more cookies because he can't eat them. Such a jerk move.
Hey, but your wife probably enjoyed them.
I was gonna say, and he got free cookies. So.
She did. I was good. I didn't eat them. He doesn't believe me, but I didn't eat them. But
yeah. I know how that is.
Hi, buddy.
He was waving. I know.
She usually doesn't come out, so she'll come out and make an appearance and jet.
I love it. It's fine.
Yeah. What's your favorite kind of cookie?
New friend. What's your favorite cookie? Is it molasses?
And lemon.
And lemon.
Lemon, yeah.
Yeah, she likes the lemon Girl Scout cookies. That's what she's
Lemon's
been
a good
on.
one.
Yeah.
Lemon's a good one.
Totally.
And for those of you that aren't in New York, I just want to make a mention. There's a lot of water in New York that you can't have a motor on.
Right.
So it's absolutely great for you guys because you don't have to worry about boats coming around.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we like some of those lakes. It's a different world. Obviously one weekend will be around NYKBF Bay where there'll be a million jet skis and water skiers all buzzing around us and everything. And then the next week we're on, Hemlock where there's nobody and it's just a different world. It's a pretty amazing feeling paddling out with complete silence all around you. And totally breaking that silence when you squeal like a little baby when you hook into a smallmouth or something, which is what I do.
Yeah. Nice.
That sounds like a good. Oh, Greg is.
Here's a good one. Here's a good one for you.
Greg is kissing. So then I guess the Oreo s'mores cookies was not Greg's favorite. Now I want to know what Greg's favorite cookie is. I know. So Greg says, seriously though, if any of you have thought about it, Justin is a good guy, and NYKBF is a good group to get involved with.
I paid him to say that.
Did you?
Yeah.
It checks in the mail, buddy.
You text your wife and she texts him, right?
Yeah.
Say, hey, make up for the mean comments.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for the support, buddy.
Yeah, and you actually, do you still do it? Because I know a couple of years ago you did a small class over at Bass Pro about.
So with COVID, we haven't been back, unfortunately. But
Okay.
hopefully, I just spoke with them, this past few, over the past few months, and hopefully they're going to start having them back. But yeah, we do host a couple seminars, beginner seminars, and intermediate, kind of for kayak fishing the Finger Lakes, throughout the course of the year at Auburn Bass Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll start being able to get into a little bit more out the Buffalo way as well. So I know there's the Cabela's out there, and hopefully we'll be able to start doing the same over there.
Nice.
So Greg says his favorite is chocolate peanut butter chip.
Man, he's chatty. He's chatty.
Yeah, he's trying to get some cookies. That's all. And then Russell James said that. He needs a tournament cookie sponsor.
I think we're on to something here.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I like it. I
don't know if your wife will like it, but
as long as I save one for her at the end of the day, I think we can get by.
Well, what's her favorite?
Well, Mary's a lot like me. She's never met a cookie she hasn't liked, but she's a big Snickerdoodle fan.
Snickerdoodle, okay.
Snickerdoodles.
Oh.
Yeah, sugar cookies are really good.
Mm-hmm. Those are John's favorite.
Yeah. You can't beat a good sugar cookie or Christmas cookie.
Right. Yeah. With or without frosting though? Do you like just the sugar or some frosting on there?
I would say sugar personally, but she would probably go.
Wow. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hope you didn't think this was going to be a real serious thing, because I'm not. I mean,
to me, I love it.
You've known me for I don't know, a couple of years, and very rarely am I serious. So
I love it. Nope, you're good.
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me talk about the charity tournament, about that NYKBF, and it's really nice to be able to talk about that. Hopefully, attract some new blood.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on. So what if someone like me was going to try to get into the, take some of Bailey's money instead of him taking all yours? I mean, is there any limitations as far as tackle or anything? I mean, I know you have a kayak, so you're limited in such ways, but I mean, is it artificial bait only, or can you use live bait?
Yeah, so good question. So we are 100% artificial bait. You can't use anything live. But that's pretty much it. That's really the only. That's really the only. Limitation really. You can bring in really as many rods as you can carry on your kayak. People have fly fished. People, they tried trolling. The only thing you can't mothership. So that's a rule discrepancy. You can't do that. But
what's that?
So that would be like if someone were to like jump on a motorboat and take a motorboat, down the lake a couple miles and then throw their kayak off the boat.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So you can't do that. Or some people have had motorboats kind of tow them, down the lake. Can't do that.
Oh, okay.
So it's all got to be, propelled by your own boat. But yeah, no, other than the artificial baits, it's all fair game. And, that's the fun part really about kayak fishing is, motorboating or bass boating, you have a little bit of leeway, right? So you can launch at especially in the smaller lakes up here, you can launch at the north end of Cayuga, and if the fishing's bad, you could go down to Dean's Cove, or you could fly down, halfway down the lake. Kayak fishing, you really can't do that. You gotta, if you want to go down to Dean's Cove from the north end, you gotta, get out of the boat. You gotta pack up all your stuff. You gotta load it. You gotta drive down there, and then you gotta unload it. Then you gotta get, so
Right.
it's a lot. Kayak fishing has a lot more to do. I don't want to put down bass boating, but I think it has a lot more to do with the preparation of where you're going. The wind is a huge factor in kayaks,
right?
Because trolling motors are growing. They're getting more and more popular, and that spot lock is a beautiful thing to hear about. But a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't even have an anchor. So you have to be very particular on where you launch, where you're fishing, safety. So, excuse me. So,
no, like,
excuse me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sorry, I'll interrupt you.
Yeah.
So Greg had a good point. He says, I think it's tougher mentally as far as breaking down water, which makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it takes you, especially when you first get into it, right? It takes you at least 5 to 10 times to be out on the water to get your kayak efficient, set up exactly how you want it, so that you can, I always say, in kayak fishing, the easiest part of the sport of kayak fishing is catching the fish, because then you because then you have to place this fish that is really upset that you ripped it out of the water. And I'm sorry, you don't have to just move it to another body of water that's located conveniently in your boat.
Smack it.
It just needs to hang out. Like, you don't have to. This is what, John. This is what you do. Oh, I got a fish. There it is.
It's like the clogging.
Yeah. So once you catch that fish, right? You have to calm the fish down. You have to
sedate it.
You have to sing it some 70s smooth jazz. And
you have to smooth jazz, yes. Liking it.
I like that. And then you have to lay it on a measuring board. You have to get your phone out. You have to take the right picture, and then you have to make sure that picture is
good enough to be read properly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then let it, obviously let it go. All in that window that the fish can be safely returned to the water, where you're not
right.
Because conservation is the big thing of NYKBF, of making sure that fish gets released, gets let go safely, and grows. So we always kind of preach that a little bit, but it's hard. We have so many times that people have caught their trophy personal best, fish, just to see it flop off the board and, not get the picture, or they'll submit a picture where the fish is like halfway up in the air, and, they got the picture, but the fish was like flopping. Those are my favorite. Because I've been there so many times. I love seeing it onto somebody.
You see it, be like, I feel your pain, bro. I was there.
I do. I definitely do.
Oh my gosh. And of course, being in the kayak, you're paddling it yourself. It takes physical strength too. Not that, you're fishing all day and on top of it.
Mental strength. You're
absolutely
out there in the hot sun. You have to make sure that, obviously you're staying healthy, you're hydrated, you're snacking, your sunscreen is a must. Just boating in general, but like it just proper safety and comfort to make sure you're out there. And again, some of these kayaks are like bass boats. They're just about as big. So you definitely have a little more leeway with those ones, but
right.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Justin Salisbury asks, have you ever had to fizz a fish?
No.
No? Okay.
What is it? I don't get it.
So basically, when bringing a fish up from where it is deeper in the water.
Yeah, deep down.
Too fast. Okay.
Oh, kind of like
bladder,
a
bladder,
deep sea diver goes up too fast.
Their bladder fills up, and you have to take the air out.
Yeah. So
weird.
Personally, I've never had to do that. Obviously, when you start getting into smallies and and things like that. Obviously, you get the people that rip them and gun them and go. But I know, it's just,
wow, I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but I just didn't realize it was a thing.
Yeah,
All right.
especially when you get into the deeper lakes, like, if you're fishing deep out in Cayuga, that you might be fishing at like 60 feet of water. If you're Ned rigging for smallies down in the bottom or something like that, that's when it usually goes. I usually, especially this time of the year, right, you'll find me at lily pads and fishing top water and chatterbaits and stuff like that on structure and stuff is more or less what I do. I cannot do the finesse stuff. I am not built that way. I am not patient enough. I always go out with a finesse rig. I'll always go out with the Ned rig or something. And I'll throw it twice and be like, oh, it's so boring. And then I'll just go back and I'll paddle back inshore and not catch a thing. But
there you go. Yeah, I used to be that way. I mean, like my finesse fishing back when I first started was like half ounce.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like I go anywhere from 1/16 up to 1.5 ounces.
Yeah,
it's
definitely I obviously, like I said, I go out with one every time. It's definitely something that I know works. I know that you can find the fish with. It's just every time I want to do it, I want to try it, and I want to get efficient with it. Can't do it.
I hear you.
Can't do it. I would much rather take that tactic and put like a nice little underspin hook on or something like that with a little Kitech and just run it down in the bottom and just, that'd be fine with it. I can do that, but that Ned rigging. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't Ned rig, man. I know how to do it, and
you drop shot, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm in my opinion, I mean, it all depends on the ground structure, right? I mean, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same kind of premise, but high weeds or whatever have you, but I can't do it. It's just, I want to, it's just boring. And there's just something about throwing that lipless crankbait that's like you can hear the chatter, or the chatterbait or the spinnerbait that you can hear it vibrate, and it's just so much. I love it. But.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting close to an hour here, believe it or not. So, is there anyone you'd like to plug some of your sponsors? Partners?
Yeah, definitely. Well, everybody, thanks everybody for listening. NYKBF, all the people that have given us a try. Thanks. Come again. And if you're considering trying NYKBF, do it. Jackson Kayak is one of my big sponsors. They are, in my opinion, the best kayak on the market. Jackson Kayak and Blue Sky Boatworks, they are the best. So give them a try. Bending Branches paddles, they're amazing. NOQA batteries, they power all of my stuff. 100% waterproof and literally this big. So, I love having those on the water. And but the list is too long, but thank you to everybody. It really, everybody that supports both me personally and NYKBF. Thank you. And John, and thank you guys. Thanks so much for having me. It was really nice to be on and talk fishing and NYKBF and
usually you and I don't really talk fishing, but it's usually community events or things like that. But
right.
It is nice.
Yeah.
So
it's good. It was good.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Justin, for coming on and talk to us a little bit about KBF. And we may have you on again.
I'd be
honored to talk about some stuff. And
since he's Xander's new boyfriend, I mean,
right. maybe they have a cookie connection.
I'll bring Logan next time.
All right, nice.
You go.
All right. So everybody stay safe, have fun. Whether you're in a kayak, canoe, paddle boat, whatever, always be safe, think safety, wear your sunglasses, life vest,
And sunscreen.
All right. So, thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Justin.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.